What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Christian here again with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about the best way to play DP battles for singles players. And before you click off the video, if you are a singles player, you might want to hear me out because as we know, this game is getting very repetitive, very fast. We've been playing singles for a lot of months now. You might want to go into the other mode and get a new experience just to spice it up a bit. And I found the best way to do it because originally I was a DP battle player and I just got off DP battles to play singles because the experience was just not good in general. But I found a way to counteract a lot of the negatives of DP battle, okay? So one of the main complaints of DP battle is that the matches take too long and they're decided by timeout. And we know the win condition is some convoluted mathematical equation that no one can understand. So really what we want is for the matches to end, right? So basically the simplest way to achieve that is just basically pick less characters on your team. I found that a 3v3 and a 2v2 feels a lot more like singles. It feels a lot more about mechanical play. Everything you like about singles basically is true in a 2v2 and a 3v3 DP battle, except of course we do have the switch mechanic, but it just becomes less of a factor when you have less characters, okay? So I'm making a 3v3 team here with Jiren, with Broly, because if you've been watching my videos, I've been playing the heavy characters lately, even though I'm not exactly comfortable with them. So I'm making a 3v3 team for you, and I'm going to show you how to play them so that you too can get into DP battle and have some fun, okay? Now let me talk about quick play for singles right quick, because in my opinion that's the best mode in Sparking Zero because there's a good culture around it. People play multiple characters and they stay away from meta picks overall, and I feel like the same thing can be done for quick play in DP battles if people just stop picking 5-man teams with Master Roshi in them. I feel like picking 5-man teams with Master Roshi in them is the same as picking SS4 Gogeta in quick play singles. Is just unnecessary and kind of cringe. So if that's you, please stop doing that and try some 3-man teams or even 2-man teams or 4-man teams out, even if they're not meta. Quick play is for fun, is for casual play, not for sweating so hard, okay? So now let's make the team here. We got Broly as our lead. Having Broly as your lead will allow you to collect skill points for transformations so that you could use either right away or later on. So we're going to try both versions out. We're going to try the team with Broly in the lead and Jiren in the lead and see what the differences are. And I'm going to show you how much fun you could have with just a 3-man team here, okay? Now, Yajirobe will be our third man on the team. And even though we're not going to win condition anymore, Yajirobe is actually a good character even without that, because you know that Senzu bean just gives him a lot of longevity, and his combos are actually not bad. He does have a rolling hammer. So luckily my opponent also has a 3-man team, so this is gonna show off very nicely what a 3v3 could look like. But my opponent is running a 4-5-6 team, okay? But Broly, basically as a lead, you want to gather skill points for transformations, and you want to use those transformations kind of right away unless you're planning on switching, because transforming basically resets your switch timer. Now another thing I want to mention is that sparking in DP battle is kind of necessary because the health pools are a lot bigger. So you know it's kind of cheesy doing singles because you just end the one character, but because here you could heal your health and such, basically sparking is not as cheese and is basically just accepted, you know. Now about the switch timer, just so I can explain to singles players, basically the switch timer just allows you to heal the health of that one character, but when you transform it resets it. So basically whenever you have the switch timer available, you kind of want to use it unless you're planning on transforming. As you see, I just transformed and my switch timer just reset, so now I have to wait again to switch my character. It just locks in my character. So my opponent switches into his other character, which is smart because it allows him to heal that Turles and do damage to me while I'm stuck in the match, right? So that's the difference between DP battle and singles. You kind of want to deal with that switch timer the best way possible. And as you see, my opponent had almost full health, so he went ahead and transformed, because you want to transform when your characters are healthy and not waste the health of your characters in base, just so I can explain to singles players if you plan on playing these 3v3 matches. So now my my switch timer accrued and I want to switch right away. You don't want to keep fighting when that switch timer is full because you want to accrue it. You either want to transform or switch. You want that timer to always be going up during the match so that you don't waste it. Okay. Now my Jiren, the good thing about Jiren is, even though, you know, he does have a transformation, he's very powerful in base. So as you see, like when you pick 3-man teams, you get to pick these powerful characters that don't have to rely so much on transformations, and it just feels a lot more like singles. So here I almost have full health, so I go ahead and transform and reset my switch timer because I don't want to waste my health. And the good thing about this team right here, and it makes it pretty beginner friendly, is that all transformations basically give resources back. So even if you don't know how to use the switch timer and you waste the switch timer by transforming or whatever, at least you're gonna get something back for it, so you don't feel like you messed up, you know. So if you're a beginner in DP battles, go ahead and try this team out. I think it's pretty beginner friendly and pretty fun to use. And of course, full power Jiren is basically the best, one of the best characters in the game, so he's gonna be doing a lot of damage to my opponent's team. So as you see, my opponent just wasted his skill points and his Gohan's basically dead. So at this point I get to end his Gohan. So as you see, I already ended one of his characters, because the good thing about 3v3s is you get to pick more powerful characters and the health pools are just less. So you know the match is gonna end. It's not gonna go to timeout. We don't have to worry about the win condition, so we get to just fight, throw hands, throw our supers, you know, just like singles. And that's what makes this mode a lot more fun than 5v5s for singles players specifically. I know there's players that really like the 5v5s, but there's some players that can't stand it. So this is a good middle ground if you want to get into DP battle. And as you see here, I throw my super out, but he blocks it. But Broly's gonna do a lot of damage to 4 DP Turles here if I even get a hit. The thing about Broly is I'm not very comfortable with Broly. I'm not exactly the best with him yet. You know, I've only played him like 1 day, so I'm still learning how to use him, guys. But once you get him down, he does a lot of damage. I know that, so I'm gonna keep trying. But he does have a Broly of his own, and he comes in with his Broly now. Now you see my switch timer is gradually going up. Goes ahead and transforms to legendary Broly. And right now he's still pretty healthy. We're kind of even in health. So it's Broly v Broly right now. I get my combos off. I get a rolling hammer off. Charge a little bit. Throw my super. Does 11.6 damage total, and I have a sparking, so I go sparking to try to end his Broly before he could switch out. And as you see, that's 2 characters down already. And here comes the third, and we just end the third right away, and that's GG's. And as you see, matches in 3v3 actually end, and they go pretty quickly because you have these powerful characters on the field doing crazy damage. And it's pretty dynamic, a lot more fun, okay? So now we're gonna try out the Jiren lead instead of Broly and see how that goes. And just starting Jiren is just very oppressive because he's so fast, does so much damage. It puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. So if your opponent starts with a low DP character, that's GG's for that low DP character, basically. But my opponent here actually has a 2-man team. He has God, Goku, and Hit. So this is essentially a 2v2. I do have a third character, but this will simulate very well what a 2v2 would look like. He goes and transforms right away. I don't know if that was the smartest decision because I already put a lot of damage on that character. So now he's locked them in with me. Even though I do have a lower DP character on the field, I do have that character in the background healing. Throws his ultimate and hits me. So my Broly's extremely damaged right now. I need to get him out. So right now, I wouldn't transform with my Broly. I need to get him out as soon as I am able. Right now, I'm on my last health bar. My Broly's basically almost dead. And Broly's so slow. Sometimes I don't even know how to get my light smashes off. They just don't come out sometimes because I'm just not used to him being that slow. I get him off me luckily. And I get my Jiren out there with a sliver of health, so I still have my Broly available for later in the match. And my Jiren's almost full health. Now he hasn't switched his Goku yet, which is a huge mistake. Because now he's almost dead and he's just wasting his health. He could have switched him and healed him and got his second character out on the field. But instead he loses his Goku almost, and he manages to get his Goku with a sliver of health. So right now my Broly has a sliver of health and his Goku has a sliver of health. But he comes out with Hit, 8 DP Hit, powerful character. So I go ahead and transform right away so I can get a advantage on this hit. I put some damage on him, throw my super, but he blocks it. And right now I'm taking hits from Hit pretty bad. I'm accruing skill points. I do have key advantage though. So I even up the health right now. And I go sparking. Switch timer is accruing, but my Broly is so weak, I couldn't even get him out if I wanted to. And that's the thing about 2v2s and 3v3s. You can't hide behind a lot of characters. You only have a certain amount of characters. So if one of them is almost dead, basically you don't have characters to hide behind. And this is why this mode, in my opinion, is more fun for singles players, because it's more like singles. You can't really hide behind a lot of characters. And really we're simulating a 2v2, so really you wouldn't have any characters to really hide behind. You could get your Broly out there, but he's almost dead, so he basically is going to die against the next character. But my Jiren does all of the work for me, and he manages to end the match in a 2v2 setting. So there you go, guys. That's what a 3v3 or a 2v2 mode would look like if Sparking Zero ever implemented that. I think it would be one of the most fun ways to play Sparking Zero. Right now we don't have that available, but you can go to quick play DP battles and just pick 3-man teams, pick 2-man teams, and just experiment. Even if you have to fight against 5-man teams and lose, I think it's worth doing, because it's, you know, I kind of want to promote a culture in quick play where people are playing more 3v3s than 5v5s. I think in ranked DP battle, 5v5s is obviously meta, but in quick play we don't have to worry about what the meta is. We just go with the most fun available option, and in my opinion 3v3 is the most fun way to play Sparking Zero. Now if you agree with me, go ahead and drop it in the comments, give me a like and sub. Catch you on the next video. Peace out.
You were no match for me.